everybody. Let me come a little bit further back so you can actually see me. Still not the greatest setup. Here we go. Perfect. All right. Still can't see my face, but that's okay. I'm going to bend down for now. So, how's everybody doing today? I hope, we're hopefully about to open things up this week. Hopefully everybody is, somewhat adjusted or adapted to this COVID situation. And I know it's finals week for a lot of people, so just keep bearing down and continue. Fortunately, I did hear that this might be our last class, so we're just going to have fun and go with it. And then hopefully, we'll be back, and always you can go through the old videos and, always get your practice in. I think it's good to at least do once a week something for yourself, for your body, just to retouch back in. That being said, and that also will help for your mind and everything else. Full body. Pilates is always not just about making ourselves feel good on the outside. It's also a lot mental, which is spiritual and emotional and all those things and yada yada. So anyway, that being said, let's get started. Let's start standing today. I'm having a hard time adjusting this camera today, or just finding the angle that I think works best, finding that full body. So weird. Maybe a little bit more. I'm going to start fidgeting with it because there's no way. But we're going to start standing with our legs hip-width distance apart. You can't see my feet, but, they're right in line with my knees. We have two straight lines from for shoulders to hips to knees to ankles to toes. And we're just going to start with a little head roll. You're going to nod your chin towards your chest. Then we're going to roll it over to the right. And we're going to do two nice big rolls over to the right. And then again, exhale, chin to chest, and roll it over to the left. Let it be gentle and easy in your shoulders and your neck. Be careful in that back space. Try not to crunch it out. Okay. From there, let's get into our shoulders a little bit. Just take about 3 or 4, or maybe even 5 if you feel like you really need it. Rolls with those shoulders forward and back. Feel how chest is feeling. Feel how your back is feeling. And then make sure you reverse opposite direction. Start to feel if your abs are maybe releasing. Try to see if you can just isolate the shoulders and not let, things arch in the back. Just isolate from those scapula. Okay, let the shoulders kind of rest. Let's go into our side body a little bit. So we'll have those hands come up overhead. And we're just going to lean long over to our right side. And think of not letting the hips go. So you still want your hips stacked up and you're on that nice long arc reaching out from the bottom side. We'll inhale, center. Exhale, same thing, other side. Reach long through that bottom arm. Reach, 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 reach. We'll inhale it up. Let's do each side one more time. You're going to exhale, go for that long reach. If you want to intensify it, take that bottom hand and pull it out. Really press. So I'm pulling my right hand, so my right foot is pressing down into the floor. We'll inhale up. And exhale, switch, start with the arms open. And then once you feel like you want to intensify it, grab with that bottom hand, give it a nice deep pull. Press with that left heel, left hip. Make sure you're still in your straight lines. Good, and then we'll let both arms fall down. Let's go for our first full roll down for today. So again, I'll turn to the sides just so you see. We're having those legs hip width. We're going to inhale, both hands up overhead. You're going to exhale. We're going to roll it all the way down. Take it piece by piece, nice and slow and easy. At the bottom, wherever that is for you, just hang out there. You can kind of shake your head yes or no. You can even do a little sway side to side if it feels good. You can clasp those elbows and kind of rock side to side. Or even we'll get into those legs a little bit. You can bend one leg, then the other. And if you need, hands can always do whatever they need to help support you. And then we're going to bend both our knees And let's roll it all the way back up. Let's do one more like that. We're going to inhale, arms reach overhead, feel that navel reach back towards your spine, and then keep that length from the crown of your head, vertebrae by vertebrae. Roll it down one piece at a time, nice and slow. This time at the bottom, actively, if you need to bend your legs, go ahead, but we want palms nice and flat on the floor. And this time, let's see if you can actually see my toesies if I move into this back corner. There we go. You're going to roll through your feet. So point to the right foot and the left, and really press into those 5 metatarsals down there. Really use those arches. Do 1 or 2 more each side. And then again, plant both feet. You're going to bend those knees. You're going to roll up super, super slow. Okay, we're going to go for a little balance check. And we're going to do it now, and then we're going to do it again at the end. And hopefully by the end of the class, it's right in line with our shoulders. And actually, you don't really need to see my face for this. We're going to angle it down so you can actually see. And maybe if I turn like that. That did nothing. I tried. So, you're going to be standing, legs still hip width, hands right in line with those shoulders. We're going to start with a little bend in our knees. From there, you're going to lift your heels off, and then we're going to come to straight knees and then let them curl down. So we're doing a little roll. You're going to bend through those knees, bend the knees, lift the heels, press through the balls of the feet, drop it down. Let's do one more in that direction. If you can, take a little balance there. Make sure your shoulders are over your hips so you're leaning it back. Lift through those legs and down. Let's do the reverse. You're going to lift up to the balls of your feet, bend through those knees, drop those heels down, stand it back up. If you can, think of the weight staying right in the center the whole time. So you don't want to be shifting your weight kind of from your heels and then all the way back to your toes. You want to think that it stays kind of in your arches. So you stay right on top of yourself. I almost forgot the direction. Bend it down, drop it, and straighten. And that's it. All right, give your legs a little shake. Hopefully they're awake. And we're coming down to the floor. So kind of be mindful of how easy or hard or kind of how you felt about that. And we'll see if hopefully there's some improvement. So down on the floor, we're going to let's start with a little stretch actually. We're going to take it down easier and build it up. So legs can be crossed however feels comfortable. If you want to do soles of the feet together to feel a little more open, go for it. Yeah, I'll stay here too. And always, if you need a little more elevation, your hips feel super tight, you can go ahead and grab a block or a pillow or anything that you have in your house to kind of help you sit up a little higher. We're just going to start with a nice little forward fold and just breathe and let the hips open. Think of breathing into your back. So your lungs are in your rib cage back here, and I want you to really breathe into that back space and feel almost like you have a big puppy back. So every time you inhale, you feel that space increases in here, and then as you exhale, maybe get a little further. And just do 2 or 3 more breaths like that. And every time you exhale, see if your navel can get a little deeper towards your spine. So you're feeling big in this part, and then you feel your belly is so much scooping up and in that it's pulling out through the back. Take one last moment to kind of hold in your deepest part, wherever that is for you today. And then we're going to roll it up. And let's get into our side body a little bit more. So we're just going to open one leg out. It doesn't have to be super far in your split. It can still be connected if that feels okay. Whatever feels good for you today. Hips are staying nice and still and grounded. We're going to plant that right hand down, or I guess I should say same hand as leg down, and then go for your nice long side bend stretch. And you want to ideally reach for the toes. It's your first one. It might not go. I've had a few things today, so hopefully mine goes a little bit. If you need to move your arm out of the way, that's okay. You want to still think shoulders in line, so try not to crunch forward as much as possible. Almost think of leaning back so you have that nice open chest and then kind of fighting to look underneath that arm. Okay, we're going to come back up. Now we're going to take our shoulders and twist. So you want your hips to still be forward, but the shoulders are going straight flat towards that leg. We're going to fold over that way. Hands can do whatever they need. They can grab onto the calf, go for the ankle. If you're feeling really fancy, go for the toes. And then if you're feeling really fancy, you can use your hands to give yourself a little extra pull, really pull it forward. You can again play with that idea of kind of rounding and breathing into that back body and then scooping those abs in. Let the abs help you. And then we're coming all the way up. We're going to switch legs. Let's go for our side bend. Hips stay nice and heavy and grounded. I was like, I like these leggings because they lift up, but they never stay up. Okay, we're going for our side bend. That right hip stays down and heavy. Left hand does what it needs. If you want to kind of leave it on that opposite hip as a reminder to open up through this side, go forward. If you can go, think of reaching for those toes and then opening the chest so you can get a little more open. You might have to adjust with that bottom arm. Awesome, we're coming all the way up. Now, shoulders twist, hips stay nice and forward. We're going over to that side. You should feel that hamstring, the back of your leg. Grab wherever feels good for you. Go for the toes if you can. Really flex the feet. Give yourself a nice deep pull. Drop that opposite hip. If you can, think forehead down to the knee. And then when you're ready, we're coming all the way back up. Give that leg a little shaky shake. We're going to come back in. Let's have the legs cross. And we're going to take it up an extra notch. We're going to, if crossing is good, this is part A. You can do this for both sides. And when we do the other side, just kind of switch which one's on top. One always feels a little weirder than the other. If you're feeling a little more fancy or a little more open in your hips, you're going to make a 90-degree angle with the front one, a 90-degree angle with the back one, or I should say the top one. And then we're just going to take a little round forward there. And just breathe. Make sure both hips are reaching down. You should feel it a lot in the backs of those hips. And again, kind of play with that idea of breathing into your back body. And then as you exhale, navel gets deeper, you get a little deeper. Breathe into those back ribs. Exhale, navel to spine, abs pull you in. Do just one or two more. And then we'll roll up. It's starting to get summer in my neighborhood, so people are a little excited if you hear the music outside. Let's do the same thing other side. So we're going to switch. And again, for your just switch which leg was in front. Fold, just breathe there. Hard back ribs, navel in. Breathe. 2 or 3 more. We're taking it easy. We're stretching it out. For a lot of us, we've been in quarantine and we're not really moving around as much as normal. Or, we're just a little extra stressed. So I wanted to do a little bit more stretching today. I feel like people would really appreciate it. Of course, we're still going to get into our abs and I'm going to kick your ass just a little bit. But we're going to, be a little nicer and gentler to our bodies. Okay. This is person's choice. You can come back to soles of your feet together. You can keep crossed, but we're going into our obliques. I'm feeling a little open in my hips, and I want to kind of increase that a little bit. So I'm going to let those legs open out, but feel free to always cross your legs. We're just going to go for a little twist. We're going to take our right hand, plant it right behind your spine, and actually I'll change the side so you can see it. Plant it right at the base of your spine, and then your left hand will come to that right knee, and you're going to give yourself that nice deep twist. And I want you to feel like you're leaning up against a pole or you're rotating against your axis. Take 2 or 3 seconds there. And then we're going to twist. Plant that bottom hand right at the base of your spine, at your pelvis, at that sacrum. And you're lifting up and twisting. Use that right arm. You may get a crack like myself. Let's do each side one more time, nice and slow like this. You want to also start to feel that it's not passive or you're just using your arms. Let the abs be active. So feel that right oblique twisting you around. And same thing left. Feel the left oblique, the left side of the abs, lifting and scooping. Press, 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 press. And then we'll come back up. Take a mini moment to just let things drop, because we're coming back up and we're going to turn that into an exercise now. So my legs are starting, or my hips are starting to get a little tired. So if you are as well, you can go ahead and cross those legs in. We're going to have hands come out in line with our shoulders and probably a little bit of a scoop in them. And let's just go for a little swing twist each side. So we're going to do 2 pulses. You're going to exhale and then come back center. And center. And each time you get a little further. So see behind you and then the opposite corner. And hips are staying still. It's the right obliques and then the left obliques. One more. And switch. Perfect. Our back body should be nice and awake. Take a mini moment. See what you need. Okay. Now, let's let that travel down to lowering our spine. So upper back, I should say, should be kind of awake. Let's get into the lumbar. So we're going to plant those legs hip width. Actually, no, I changed my mind. Summer's coming. Squeeze those inner thighs together. If you would like to do hip width, you go for it. If you want a little challenge, squeeze those inner thighs. If you want even more of a challenge, or you feel like you want to squeeze something even more, go ahead, grab your block, your pillow, whatever cushion you have, and squeeze those inner thighs together. I might as well squeeze my block. So we're going to go for a little squeeze. Hands are right underneath our knees or on our shins. We do this one usually, but think about it a little bit deeper this time. So as you exhale, you're going to think navel back, and you still want to keep the same distance between your shoulders and your hips. So my shoulders and my hips stay in line. I just pull the ribs back, so almost like we were breathing into that deep space in the back ribs. And then inhale. You're going to plant those sit bones down, and we're going to go straight for that heart extension at the top. You're going to exhale. Scoop, round out, think navel to spine, ice cream scooper, rock back off those sit bones, and then plant those sit bones for your tailbone plant down, grow tall, so much that your heart and chest reach the ceiling. Do 2 or 3 more on your own breath, your own timing, really articulating through your spine. Use those arms to help you. Keep squeezing your inner thighs if you have those legs together. Awesome. We'll do 1 more. All right. Now we're going to get into the nitty-gritty part, the not fun part. We're going for our abs. Hands are going to float in line with your shoulders. Keep squeezing those inner thighs. You're going to exhale. You're going to roll down. If you need, hands can always stay attached. We're going to go only down to our shoulder blades. So right there. And then squeeze those inner thighs. If you need, plant your feet down. Use those hands, come up. That first one is always rough. Let's do 1 more with the hands on. Just to really get it into your body. Keep squeezing everything towards the center. Hollow out, scoop, 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 scoop. Just the tips of your shoulder blades. Exhale, deepen, Scoop, roll it all the way back up. We're doing 3 more. If you want to make it a little more advanced, let those arms float off. It is completely okay to keep those hands on. Keep scooping, scooping, scooping. And exhale, roll it back up. Inhale at the top. Exhale, navel back. Roll it down, vertebrae by vertebrae, shoulders away from those ears. And then deep into those abs. Scoop, 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 scoop. Woo! We got one more. Inhale it up. Exhale, hollow it out. Feel that sacrum touch. Then your lumbar, that thoracic, just to those shoulder blades. Deep into the front of the abs, ribs close. Plant it back up. Take a mini moment. We're going to go all the way down to the bottom this time. So we're going to inhale, exhale, scoop it all the way back and down. Take a moment at the bottom. You can kind of let your knees do a little rock side to side if you want to get rid of your inner thigh aid. Go for it. Just let those knees go side to side to release the lower back. If you want, you can hug your knees into your chest. Maybe go for a few circles here. And same thing in opposite direction. I like to think of my legs as super passive and my arms are doing everything. Almost like I have 2 sticks in bowls and I'm just turning them around and my legs are going for the ride. Okay, let's find that nice neutral pelvis. So if that's easiest for you to go for your frog, keeping your hips still, and then letting the soles of the feet come flat. Go for that method. That's always great. Let's go for some little toe taps. So we're going to go ahead and float both those legs up to our tabletop. Hips are nice and still. We're going to inhale, right toe down, exhale, scoop it up. And same thing, opposite leg. Feet, we're not worried about them. If you want to be pointed and be fancy, go for it. If you want them to just do, whatever, I'm not thinking about them. Go for that. Every time you draw that knee in, exhale, abs, scoop it. Keep thinking everything down and in through the center. Let's do each side one more time. And then we're going to turn our legs out, both legs, same time. Inhale it down, exhale, and in. Inhale, and exhale, and inhale, and exhale. 3 more. You might feel a little bit more in the outsides of your hips. Last 2. Last one. Okay, from here, we're going to go for our legs coming back parallel and single leg shooting out. So we'll do right leg and then left, and do whatever feels good for you. If you need more of a 90, that's okay. If you're feeling fancy, go for that 45. And then once you feel warm, if you're feeling really fancy today, you can shoot it out long. It shouldn't touch the floor, but go to a hover. Good. And again, if you want to intensify that, whichever level the legs are at, we're going to interlace those hands and you're going to press into the knee that's forward. And you can still do this whether you're at your 90 or your 45. But it's really about that counter press. You do this one before, so you know it. And exhale, inhale, and exhale. Keep thinking of everything closing through the center. Let's do each side one more time. Awesome. Relax everything down. You can let those hips get a little rock again. And then actually, let's go for a little twist. So we'll have our hands come wide in line with our shoulders. Let those knees rock over to the right side. Look towards the left. Feel like you can extend if you have enough space. I barely have enough space. You can extend that top leg and even, you can't see it, but grab that foot. And just breathe there. Find that twist. And then you can exhale. Let those abs help you come back to the center. And And we're going to fall to the opposite direction. And again, I'm going to look away from you. And then if you like, you can extend that top leg. If you're feeling fancy, use your hand to grab it. And look towards that backside. Find that twist. Next, we're coming back to the center. Exhale to the center. Legs come down. Let's go for a nice set of bridges. So, we're going to be a little fancy today. Let's just start with 5 straight up and down. Nice and easy. No, nothing too crazy. Grab those legs hip width again. If you like, go ahead and add your pillow or your ball or anything that you have at home to squeeze your inner thighs together. If not, just leave those legs hip width. It's all good. You'll press your palms down into the floor. We're going to exhale, navel down, pubic bone up. You're going to roll up one vertebrae at a time. Oh, it's hard to talk from this position. Keep squeezing those inner thighs. Lift those hips even a little bit more. Good, and then we're going to roll it all the way back down. I feel like I'm losing my block. There we go. And exhale. We got 4 more. So think of getting a little higher, finding a little more length from the backs of those legs. You might have to adjust your feet. Good, think of the knees reaching long and away. Take a second, look down. Are your ribs still closed? Are your hips getting up super high? Let's do our last 2. Press down into those heels. Squeeze those glutes, hamstrings. Squeeze. I'm feeling it. One last one. Exhale, scoop. See if you can get even higher. Lift up, press up. Nice. And then we get to come down. Relax everything down. Take a moment. Give those legs maybe a little shaky, shaky. Because we're going to go for some single leg. So, legs come back on. If you need, we're going to get rid of anything that you had in between your inner thighs because we're going to be doing stuff with our legs. So, back to your start. Nice, strong position. We're going to inhale. Exhale. Scoop. Roll up to the top. Nothing changes in your hips. If you're feeling fancy today, hands can come up and off. We're going to lift that right leg up and then left leg. And I'm fighting to keep my hips absolutely still. Squeezing those glutes, hamstrings. Let's do each side 2 more times. And I like to exhale and inhale down. And exhale. And exhale. And exhale. And then we're rolling it back and down. Take a mini moment. Go for, this is called constructive rest. So you can cross those arms and let the hips just fall wide. We got 2 more variations. So, once again, hands down by the hips, legs hip width distance. Go for your exhale. Scoop those hips all the way up. If you're feeling fancy today, hands will come in line with those shoulders. Or kind of on that upward diagonal above the head. Okay, from here, let's lift our right leg up, or I'll do the one that's closest to you so you can see. You're going to lift that leg up, shoot it out long. We're going to go for 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Leg stays up, pulses. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're going to cross it for our figure 4. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Roll it down. You can keep that cross. And then we're going to go for our twist one more time. So you're going to let for the left over right. The left's going to go over to the left side. And let it just drop and be easy. Do what you need. If you want to get a little bit more of a front stretch, you can let that top, the knee that's straight, not crossed, fall further down. Let's just say the bottom leg. The bottom leg. Or if you feel like you want a little more in your glute, you can keep that leg a little more bent in. However you're feeling, play with it. You can take a breath here and then a breath there, whatever feels good. All right, guys, we got one more side. We got two cheeks. So, you need them to be even. Hands come back down. You're going to exhale. Squeeze it all the way up. You can go here if you're feeling super fancy. Go all the way over. Or hands can stay down. We're going to go for that opposite leg. We're going to shoot it out long. It's going to float down and up. And you have 4, 3, 2, 1. Hold it up and pulse. 2, 3, 4, 5. Cross it over and 5, 4, 3, 2. Last one. Roll it down. This time, legs go to the opposite direction. Just breathe there. And again, you can play with keeping it in tight. I personally like that kind of IT band stretch. So I kind of fold it down and see if I can get that bottom knee to the floor. I'm breathing heavy now. All right, and then when you're ready, we'll come back to the center. Let those legs fall. Give them a quick little shake because we're going for our full roll-ups. So if you need, legs can be slightly bent. Do whatever you need. More advanced, legs straight, and about mat width or maybe even a little wider depending on how you feel. The wider your legs are, the little easier it is. I like to do mine about mat width. It gives me a good prep. Okay. We're going to inhale. Those arms are going to come up overhead. As you exhale, reach your arms long. You're going to curl through your head and neck. For that first one, we'll all go for it. You want to find that deep position we were in earlier where just your shoulder blades are on, the tips of your shoulder blades. And then use your abs. If you need, use your hands to kind of help you curl up at the top. We're going to take a nice little stretch over. Then we're going to roll up tall. And we're rolling it back and down. Scoop, scoop, scoop. One vertebrae at a time, piece by piece by piece. Inhale it up. And this is like a tough one for everybody. Inhale it up. I rather you be in correct form and make a version or a less, let's not even say easy. Let's say a challenging version. And you use the correct muscles. So your hamstrings, you're using their abs, shoulders aren't super up by your ears. And you be in all those compromised positions and you sort of kind of fake it through. So on this last one, we're going to stay over, take a moment just to breathe. Hopefully your back already feels a little longer. Mine does. And then we're rolling up nice and tall. Okay. We're going to bend our knees in one more time. We're going to do those abs that we did, kind of those half ones, but a little more intense this time. So, legs are going to stay about hip width. We're going to roll back, not even as far as we did last time, just to about right there, more like you're halfway, and then scoop, roll it back up. Hands can do what they need. You can do palms down if that gives you a little extra. Sometimes I feel like my shoulders feel more plugged in when I do palms together. Good, let's do one more like that. Ooh, excuse me. Okay, from here, hands can stay here, and I'll change my direction so you can see. You're gonna rotate, so shoulders, or I should say navel up, stay straight. Maybe from navel down, we'll go in a little twist. And we'll squeeze those inner thighs again, make those inner thighs work a little harder. You're gonna roll it down. Same to that halfway, roll it back up. So you're in that twist. Squeeze those inner thighs. Let's do 3 more. Last 2. Last one. Let's switch it. Upper body stays still. It's the hips. And I'll turn to the side so you can see what it looks like from the side. Roll it straight back. Woo! This is my hard side. We have 4 more. And again, as much as possible, I'm being honest to how my shoulder rotation is, and that varies for each of us. Good, 1 more. Good, let hips come back forward. Take a mini moment for hips, shoulders, everything. Let it get a little loosey, because now we're gonna do the opposite of that. So, legs are gonna stay straight. You're gonna roll to your beautiful halfway. From here, torso's gonna twist. We're gonna come back up, roll it back down, come to the center, and then back up. We're gonna roll it down. You're gonna go to the left. You're gonna roll it up, roll it down, come center, and up. So it's different in that last time shoulders stayed still and lower body moved. Now lower body staying still, navel up is moving. Let's do each side 2 more times. Roll to your halfway, twist towards that right oblique close long, roll it back through that right oblique, come back to your center, scoop it up. Exhale, navel back, left obliques, deep into that left side, grow longer and out, come back to your center, and up. Last time or last set, roll it through the center, go for your twist. Oh, oops, I almost missed one. Roll it back, center, and up. Multitasking, roll it back, and twist, roll it up. Take it back down, come to the center, and up. Give those legs many moment. We have 1 more variation here. If that was super challenging, stick with that one. On our next one, we're gonna bump it up just a tad bit. So, legs are gonna stay the same. If you're feeling fancy, hands behind the head. If you need, hands can always stay right there. Hands behind the head. We're rolling it back. You're gonna twist over to that right side. Let that right arm open, twist a little more. Come back to your center. Bring it back up. Roll it to your halfway. Twist to your left. Think long, flat back reach. Come back. Come to your center and up. And I'm going to do this one to the side so you get that side profile as well. You're going to roll it to your halfway. Twist. Think long, flat back, reach long. Then deepen it. Come back to your center and up. So curve back, curve it. Straighten your back. Keep it straight. Bring it back to the center. Curve it back. Twist it, curve. Straighten it out. Keep it long and up and back and turn it and out and in. Back center and up. And then again, let those legs just fall down. Take a mini moment. You should really feel your abs and your obliques, hopefully. Okay, we're going to do one last roll down to stay down at the bottom because we're going to hit our lower abs 1 more time. So sitting up nice and tall. Exhale, scoop it all the way down to the bottom. We're staying down. Legs are coming up this time. Hips are in your nice neutral. We're going to lift our legs straight up to 90. We're just going to start with a little hip opener. So you're going to think of splitting the legs. Let your right leg come towards you. Left float down. Do a little pulse with that top leg mainly. Think top leg, and then let it come back. Switch. And left leg, and up, and up. And if your legs are a V, that's beautifully fine. It doesn't have to be this big split stretch. Go to where feels good for you. But you really want to think kick, with that bottom leg, hamstring, kick. 1 more side, kick, and kick. Okay, legs meet back at the top. Let's take that into a bicycle. You're going to let that right leg come up, left one come down. And you're going to bend and then switch. So like you're pedaling in a bike, nice long legs. Start to let that connect into your lower abs. So the longer that leg gets, the more you'll feel those abs. And actually, if you're feeling super fancy today, go ahead and let the heels touch and drag. So it's like someone's pulling that leg out, and it drags and touch and pull. And almost like the legs are equal opposite. So once one touches, the other one lifts up. And then let's reverse that. So you're going to press with the leg down, other one up. So you're pedaling backwards. And you still find that length. I'm feeling those lower abs. Good, let's do each side. Or I should say, 2 more sets. Good, think that you keep making that L shape. So as soon as one touches, the other reaches to the ceiling. Nice, we come back to the center. Give those legs mini little break because we're going to intensify those lower abs just a little more. Okay, we're going to go for a prep for corkscrew. We did a little bit of this last week, but this is kind of like the more challenging version. I'm scooching down so that I have space for my legs to go over my head. Do a nice base with your palms down by your hips. And don't think I forgot about arms. We're still going to throw some arms in there. So, legs are coming back to your 90. If you need them a little bent, go for it. If you can, think of nice straight legs. And the beginning or the prep of this part, we'll say version A. Version A, you're going to let the legs come towards you. Think of scooping through those lower abs. If you can, get a little lift from your booty off the floor, kind of that little tiny space, and then let it come down. And we're just going to do like 2 or 3 of those just to kind of, every time you exhale, think lower abs, and legs reach up. Once that starts to feel a little more comfy, now we're going to turn that kind of into our obliques side to side. So as you scoop up, you're going to let, and it's hard to see my feetsies, but we'll let it lift up a little bit so hopefully you can see my feet. So we're going to go for a little diagonal. So it's just like earlier when the torso stayed still, but the lower body goes for that little twist. You're going to go for that little twist, pulse it up. From that right side, let the legs swing down and go towards your left side. And swing down and go towards your right side. This can be your start. As you get more comfortable, let those legs go a little lower. Okay, if this is like super easy for you and you're like, okay, yeah, I feel it, but like I need a little bit more, let's intensify that. Okay, give yourself a mini moment. I need a mini moment. Because that same action is going to go into a pike or a jackknife and up overhead. So if you need a prep for that, give yourself that prep, take a moment. If not, we're going to go straight forward. And again, you can always stay with version A or AB with the legs kind of twisting, and you can always reach to get the legs longer. Once you feel comfortable, go ahead and challenge yourself with this one. So you start in the center. As you exhale, you're going to come up overhead and go towards that right diagonal. From that right diagonal, you stay on the right side, roll it down, let those legs come through the center left, scoop to that left side and up, and roll it down to the left, press it down long, and look to the right. And we're just going to keep going. This is called corkscrew. So you should feel that deep twist. Think even more lower abs. Try not to let it be your momentum. Let's do one more each side. Last set. Beautiful. Take a moment. You should feel lower abs, upper abs, obliques, everything. Take that mini second because we're going to roll it to our belly. So we're going to come over. Take a moment. Let's do a quick child's pose just to kind of stretch things out. You can have your knees wide if that feels good. And just relax your forehead down. Still breathing into that back body. Nice puffy rib cage in the back. And I'm like, ooh, breathing heavy. Okay. When we come up, we're gonna go for a quick plank and side plank series. Again, always be careful with wrists and weight. I'm a strong believer that the only way to strengthen your wrists are to put weight on them. It really is the only way that they will get better. Like you can do other exercises. I'm just moving this down a little bit. But this is the most effective way to train them. You're gonna start toes tucked in. You're in your nice flat back. Make sure you're not too rounded or too curved. If you need, look at a mirror, or like myself, you can turn on your phone and kind of look at yourself. Make sure you're flat. Shoulders are right underneath those wrists, and shoulders are right above your wrists, and knees are right below your hips. And make sure you take that second. Are the eyes of your elbows looking forward, or are they kind of rotated and down into one another? Let's go for our protraction, retraction really quick. So as you exhale, you're going to press down into those palms, create space between your shoulder blades. Exhale, drop them down. Inhale, press up, create space. Exhale, drop it down. If you notice, I'm not moving my torso. It's just isolating in the scapula. Ribs, abs, everything stays tight and scooped up and in. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Okay, keeping with our flat, we're going for our first half plank. I think half plank is always harder than full plank. So as you exhale, float it on up. We're going to hang out here. Just take a mini second. Check in with everything. Are your shoulders away from your ears? Is your chest wide? Is your navel up? Are your ribs closed to the front? Are your lower abs scooping up? Are your palms pressing down? Gotta try to take out tension from places that don't need it. So relax your neck. Think of looking maybe towards the end of your mat, or like a foot in front of you. Take your last 2-3 seconds, and then let those knees come down. Take a minute, get off those wrists. You can kind of clasp your hands and do little figure eights. Maybe just like shake them out. Okay, part 2. We're going for our full plank. Toes tuck underneath. Exhale, press it up. If this is a lot, you can always come down to this bad boy, whatever feels most comfortable. If you're up for it, those wrists are fine. Stay up here. I'm going to move up so you can see me. We're going to go for a little challenge today. You're going to lift that back leg off and then down and opposite. And you want to keep everything still through the top. And I like to inhale and exhale, and inhale and exhale. Try not to let the hips shift from side to side. Ooh, my hands are a little far. There we go. Do each side one more time. And then let those knees come down. Drop it down. Mini second. We have like 3 more, so it's a building progression. But we want to give our wrists mini seconds as well, so that you make sure that you're nice and evenly weight distributed through your hands. They're not just all on your pinkies, or I should say just on your thumb and your middle finger. Make sure weight is evenly dispersed. We're going to up that one more time. Shoulders over palms. Toes tuck underneath. Exhale, lift up. Go to your full plank. Now, we're going to lift our back leg, take mini little push-up or full push-up, bring it back up and down. Lift the back leg, mini little push-up and down. If this is super crazy for you, you can stay with your hold. If the push-up is fine, go for it. I'm personally doing elbows back. If elbows wide to the side is better for you, do what you need. Let's do one more set. Drop those knees down. Mini moment. We got one last one like this. And then we have our whole side body. Super fun. All right. So now we're going to do a combo of that whole shebang bang. So hands right underneath. Make sure your hands are about, our palms are about shoulder width as well, if I didn't say that earlier. Toes tucked underneath. Exhale, lift it up. Go for that full plank. Now, we're going to do a little knee tap and lift. Left leg, bend it down, bend it up, bring it in, and out. Knee tap and lift. Out, down, up, in, and out. Tap it, down, out. Bring it down, up, in. When I try to talk too much, it does not happen. So unfortunately, I can't give a whole bunch of cues. But make sure everything's staying in line. It's just the knees. Doing that little tap. Think of rounding in. Ooh, knee tap. And out. Can we do one more? I'm dying to. Whew. Last one. Awesome. That's it. We're done with that. Take a moment. Let it come down. If you want, you can like walk hands over to one side. And same thing to the other. All right, back to the center. We're coming up. Let's go for that side body. So let's start on our right side. We might as well line yourself up so that your elbow, shoulder, hip, feet are all in one line. We're just going to start with a little lift here. And hopefully it feels okay. You're going to press down into that bottom hand. And we're just going to lift to our long plank and then let it come back down. And we're going to do 4 more. Little lift and down. Think of pressing with that bottom hand, bottom side of your torso. Last 2. Top hand can stay down, or can stay on the hip, or it can be long, whatever you need. Give it a mini moment. Get off that shoulder. Okay, we're going back down. This time, you can stay here, or if you want to get a little lower, or all the way down, if you have a pillow, go for it. I'm going to stay in that same position because it gets you a little longer. It's a little more challenging. Both legs nice and long. Top leg lifts to hip height. We're just going to go for a little kick forward and back. Exhale, kick it forward. Inhale, reach it back. Keep staying long on that bottom side. Whoop. I am moving things behind me. Let's do 2 more. Last one. Perfect. Keep thinking on that bottom side. We're going to go for a little mermaid today. So think of just lifting up. If you're on your right side, that right leg still stays in front. Left leg behind you. Kind of like a little figure 4 as much as possible. Think of both hips staying down. And then you're going to go to your long side bend. Hopefully it's a little deeper than the first one that we did. Again, same thing other side. If that bottom hip is up, that's okay. Everyone, bodies are a little different. You may be tight in different places. As much as possible, nice wide open chest. All right, we're coming up. Let's do same thing other side. You can just flip if that works for you. I'm already here. I don't want to face my butt to you, so I'm going to turn my legs around. Remember, we're starting with our side planks. So elbow in line, elbow, shoulder, hip, down to the knees. We're just going for our little lifts. Exhale, bottom body up and down. And bottom body. You have 3. Think of squeezing those glutes that we use. Think of staying long on both sides of your torso. Last one. Take a moment. You can kind of let it ease down. Bring it back up. Legs at hip height. Exhale, kick it out. Inhale, let it shoot back long. Exhale and inhale. Think of your torso staying still. If you want a little challenge, bring the hand in line or behind the head. Make sure that top leg stays at the same height. So it's not doing like a little lower and then higher. It's the same thing the whole time. Last one. Whew. Drop that leg down. We're going for our figure four. Cross the front. One hip or one side is always a little different than the other, so do what you need. Ideally, both hips are reaching down. We're going to go towards our open side or towards the front leg side. Palm can come down, elbow can come down, depending on how open that side body is. Really reach long and away. And then same thing other side. Think of grounding that same side hip. Reaching long. So you can open the chest a little more. Awesome, float it down. I did not forget about our back body. I'm going to do a quick one. We're just going to throw it in very, very quickly. It's kind of like a bow variation if you do yoga. Let's start with a little baby cobra. Just have your hands underneath. You don't want to use your hands for those first few. Let's squeeze those inner thighs together. You're going to exhale. Big head, neck, chest lifts. And then let it float down. And it doesn't have to be super high. If right here is for you, that's okay. We're still thinking about our abs lifting up. So we're not just chilling in our abs. We're not letting our lower back sway. That's a note for me as well. Exhale, scoop those lower abs up. And as I feel not able to lift as high, and that's okay. Let's do one more. Okay, from there, let those arms help you. So you're still using your back, but then let those arms give you a little extra. And then bring everything back down. If you want to go for that challenge, sometimes I start with them off. And then I know that everything's together as I intensify it. Bring it back down and down. Let's do two more. That lift. And then make it go a little further. And then back down and down. Are those legs still squeezing together in the back? Are you still scooping through those lower abs? Or you kind of slouched and louched and kind of lift it up. And then back down. I was talking through that last one, so I'm going to do an extra one for me. Squeeze those inner thighs. Lift. Press it up. Drop it back down. Okay. Take a mini moment if you want to sway your hips side to side, because we're going to grab the legs. You can do one. If you can do both hands, go for it. See if you can get that knee kind of up and off, but both hips square and pressing forward. Quickly, we'll switch to the opposite side. It's that same standing quad stretch, but I like to do it down here because I can tangibly feel that my shoulders are square, my hips are square, weight is evenly pressed through them. Now we're going to do both legs. So now that our back body is nice and awake, we're going to grab both hands. If you need a strap or if this is just not available for you, that's okay. Stick to the one single leg. But if this is okay, we're here all together. If you're feeling really fancy, grab the insides. Somehow that just makes your chest work a little harder. Take a nice big inhale. You're going to think of kicking with the legs. So it's not just your back. It's the legs. It's the legs. You're going to reach it all the way up. So you can get a little rock going. And then let it drop down. And you can play. Sometimes, that might feel a little more for your shoulders. This one might be able to get a little higher on. So kind of do what you need. This is fun time. Bring it down. Let's do one more. Again, play with your hands if you like. If you want to stay consistent with your hands, that's completely A-okay too. See if you can keep your knees a little, that's for me, knees a little more in line Squeeze those glutes. Press into those hands. Chest wide. Nice. Ooh, I'm getting a little crazy. Let those legs drop. Shift your hips side to side. You're gonna go back for child's pose. Let your back kind of stretch out. We're gonna transition into standing. Let those toes tuck. You're in your all fours. Lift those knees. Press to your downward dog, so kind of like a big V. If you want to pedal through the legs, why not? Go for it. Walk your hands to your feet. Take a moment down at the bottom. We're going to hang out down here. Really feel that stretch. You can clasp elbows. If it's available to you, go ahead and grab one to whatever feels good. And give yourself that little pull. See if you can get your forehead down to your ankles and your chest flat to your thighs. Let go of everything. Bend. Roll it up nice and slow. And I didn't forget, we're going for our quick little balance because we have 1 minute left. So let's do it. You still can't see my face, but that's okay. You get the gist. Legs are hip width. Hands are in line with our shoulder. Let's start with the one where we've been. You'll lift, hopefully. Oh, look at me. I can just hang out here. Let those legs straighten and down. Think of the weight still in the balls of the feet. Nice strong ankles, toes. Feel all 10 little metatarsals down into the floor. Let's do one more in that direction, because of course we have to reverse. And we'll lift it up, bend it down, drop it down and up. Hopefully you feel the backs of your legs a little more, those glutes. See if you can really control through it. Take that little moment. Can you hold there? Yes. Let's do our last one or two. I was talking too much, so I lost count. One more. And then let those legs go. Let's do one last little roll down all together. Just start how we finish. Legs hip width. Inhale. See if you can find a little more reach. If you're feeling fancy today, go ahead and extend it. Go for that little arch back. And then from there, we're going to roll it all the way back and down. Take that moment at the bottom. Do what you need. Kind of sway the hips. Let your head kind of be funky. You can sway. Whatever feels good. Because then we're going to bend both our knees. And want to roll it all the way up. And that's it. We are all set. I want to thank everybody for joining today, and thank Hunter College for allowing us to still have this and kind of work together. Again, this might be our last one, so thank you for everyone. Have a great day. Stay safe, stay healthy, keep working out and self-care and all that good stuff. Bye-bye. This is Jasmine.